welcome to the virtual Edinburgh International Harp Festival. And it's time for another workshop. I hope you've been enjoying the concerts and the workshops that you've managed to take part in so far. Remember, they're going to be remaining online for the foreseeable future until the stay-at-home period is over. So, on to our 4 p.m. workshop. And, well, actually, your tutor for today is me. So, in a minute, I'm going to head over to the other wall in this room. But I guess I'm supposed to say things about myself because that's what I've been saying about the other tutors. So, yes, my name is Rachel here. This is my website. You can pop along there. I have sheet music and CDs, PDFs of sheet music available for sale. And I better head over to that wall over there to get set up to teach. You're getting a full view of all 4 walls in this room as part of these videos. So I'll see you in a second. So, hello everyone, I made it to the other side of the room. So this is the 4th wall in this room that you've been seeing in these presenting things. And I have my green screen. Since this stay-at-home time, I've started doing a lot of online teaching at home. And I'm finding this kind of works best. And it also means that every now and then I can turn my Zoom lessons into harp lessons from the moon or from the Bahamas or from New York. So adds a little bit of an extra thing to our harp lessons just now. So anyway, it's time for my workshop now, and I'm going to teach you one of my most favourite tunes in the world, and it's actually probably the tune that I've taught most as well. So I think a lot of you will know this one. It's been doing the rounds around the harp world for some time now. I first started teaching it 13 years ago, and now lots of other harp teachers have started teaching it, and it's become known as a bit of a harp tune, even though it's not actually written by a harpist. So it was written by a very dear friend of mine, a lad called Callum Stewart, and Callum is from the northeast of Scotland, although he currently resides in Brittany. He's an amazing musician and an amazing composer. He plays the whistles, the Irish pipes, the wooden flute, but I think it's really his compositions which for me stand out as part of his kind of music life. I highly recommend you check out his music. I'm going to do the finger pointing thing. This is his website. Do check out his albums and things because they're some of my favourite pieces of music. So, but on to the tune that I'm going to teach you today, and it's got a good meaning, a suitable meaning for this time. But it has a strange name. It's called Looking at a Rainbow Through a Dirty Window. Quite a title that, Looking at a Rainbow Through a Dirty Window. And the meaning behind it is actually hope, which I really do think it's something that we all need to have just now. The rainbow, or the dirty window, represents all the not so great things which are maybe happening in your life or indeed the world just now. But if you look through that window, you see a rainbow, that there's something positive to hope for. And if you're based here in Scotland or the UK, you'll know about the fact that people just now have been putting pictures of rainbows in their windows as a sign of hope and as a sign of support for our beloved NHS. So this is another reason why I wanted to teach you all this tune, because it really does have a poignant place in today's world. So what I'll do is I'll play it through to you. This is it's a tune for everybody. I guess if you're elementary level, that's where you would enter learning this tune. But it's one for every harpist because you can easily kind of expand it and make your own arrangement of it. I recorded it on my latest album, Sparks, with my duo partner Ron Jappy. But this is the version that I've kind of taught worldwide. So yeah, I'll play you it through. So I'm gonna change the camera around so you can get a closer view of my strings, and we'll start learning it. Alright, so we have moved camera position, and this means that you'll get a better close-up view of my lovely harp strings against this equally lovely green screen. So yeah, first things first, we need to get our harp into the right key. So this tune is in A major, which means you need to engage 3 sharpening levers: your F sharp, your C sharp, and your G sharp, in addition to what levers your harp gets put into for C major. Okay, my harp is tuned to E flat major, so that means I need my E levers, A levers, and B levers up, as well as the 3 sharps in this tune: F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okie doke. So let's start off by learning the first part. I'm going to play it through to you once at a nice steady pace, just so you can get it into your head. Have a listen. Okay, so let's start off with, we're going to be splitting this into little sections. So our first little bit, we're going to use all 4 fingers. So 4, 3, 2, 1 on A, B, C, and E. And we're just going to flow up that. Have a listen to me first. Let's try that after 2. 1, 2. Lovely. Let's go for it again after 2. 1, 2. Great. Next little bit, we're going to have, excuse me, little steps using our thumb and our second finger. So 1 and 2, our pinching fingers, as I would say. And have a listen to the little steps that are going to happen. So we're having our thumb on C and our second on B. And we're just going to go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, working our way down to end on the G. Have a listen. Let's have a go of that after 2 together. 1, 2. Great. Let's go for it again after 2. B, C. 1, 2. Good. So let's put those 2 little sections together. Remember, A, B, C, E, 4 fingers flowing up, and then our little steps. After 2 together. 1, 2. Let's reset and go again. After 2. 1, 2. Great. New little bit. 3 notes going down. A, G, and E. I quite often, when I'm learning tunes, I'm quite a visual learner, so I like to look for patterns related to the colours on my harp. So for me, the way that I remembered this when I first learned it was, we're going down 3 white strings. We're missing out that black F. So we're going to go down, and afterwards we're going to play that black F that we left out. So have a listen, it'll go. Let's try it together. So A, G, E, F. After 2. 1, 2. Great. Let's go for it again. So down the same 3 notes, A, G, E, then your black F. After 2. 1, 2. Great. Let's link that on to the bit that we did before. So remember, we had going up our 4 notes, A, B, C, E. Then our little steps, B, C, A, B, G, before that. Let's link it all together. Listen out though for the count between. In fact, let me play it to you first and I'll count so you can hear what the rhythm's going to be. Listen for what the silence is. I'm going to count myself in. 1, 2. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. Okay, so I was counting that G there. Have a listen again. The count is going to go 1, 2, and. So you start playing that new bit on the and. let's try linking that all together now. I'm going to count to 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's go for it again after 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Now, the bit after that, have a listen. Our second part of the first part, got to be careful how I name these, is exactly the same, but you change the last note. Instead of playing an F sharp, you're going to play an A. So you're finishing up on the same note that you started with. So let's try that second section. So we're going to play it all again. I'm finishing the A this time. Have a listen. After 2, or let's play it together actually. I'm going to count to 2. 1, 2. So exactly the same steps. 1, 2, down your 3 notes. This time finish on A. Good. Let's go for it again. After 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, and finish on A. Good. Okay, so we have the whole section finishing on F sharp, and then the whole of that part again finishing on the A. Okay, now you've got to be a little bit careful just now because we need to put those bits together and there's quite a long gap between them. Okay, this is when we would have our left hand chords flowing up. So for just now, because we're just doing the melody, we need to be counting it out. I'm going to play you now the whole of the first part because you know it now, and I'm going to count those gaps. I'm going to count the silences. And yeah, have a listen, or if you even fancy joining in straight away, I'll count myself in, just go for it. Have a listen after 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, and finish in the F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, and finish on A now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Brilliant. Let's try it again. Let's try it twice in a row now because the parts of this repeat them. Okay, so you're going the whole thing finishing on F sharp, whole thing finishing on A, whole thing finishing on F sharp, whole thing finishing on A. So starting off 4, 3, 2, 1, A, B, C, E. After 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Finish on F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2. Finish on A. 1, 2, 3. We'll do it all again. 1, 2. 1, 2. Down we go. Finishing on F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, finish on A. Great, lovely. Hope you're getting that. I must apologise. I'm not sure if you guys can hear this, but our windows are singing along with this. It's a little bit windy outside here in Glasgow now, and our windows are kind of whining a little bit. So, anyway, let's move on to the second part. Again, I'm going to play it to you just now, so just sit back and have a listen and try and just kind of listen and kind of get the tune, the melody into your mind. Have a listen. So this is the second part. Okay, so there's a little bit more notes in this part, but there's some nice kind of little sequences going on. So our 3 main notes in this are 1, 2, 3 down on A, G and F. So A, G sharp, F sharp. So let's just try those 3 wee notes going down together. A, G and F. 1, 2. Great. place them on. Let's go for it again. 1, 2. Great. So those are 3 important notes that come again and again in this second part. Again, I like to look for patterns because it helps me remember tunes better. So we're going to add on a note this time. We're going to add on that C sharp, so middle C there, with our 4th finger. Have a listen. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. I'm not actually placing it on. Kind of tend to roll my 4th on once my thumb is played. I'm going to count myself in now. And I'm going to play it. If you want to join in for it, go for it. After 2. 1, 2. Okay, let's try it together now. After 2. 1, 2. Great. One more time for good luck. 1, 2. Great. We're going to change that last note. We're going to change from the C to the D now. So exactly the same rhythm, but we're going to finish on the D. 1, 2. Great. Let's try that again. So finishing on the D this time. After 2. 1, 2. Great. So let's put those 2 bits together. So we're going down our 3 notes, A, G, F, C, A, G, F, D. Okay. After 2. 1, 2. D now. Good. Let's go for it again. So finishing on the C, finishing on the D. 1, 2. Next bit. Surprisingly enough, it's going to go to the E, but the rhythm changes. Have a listen to how this bit goes now. And I've added some extra notes on. We're going to go down to the E, so that means we've got A, G, F, E, so a nice 4-note, 4-string pattern there. We're going to go down and we're going to turn around and come straight back up. Have a listen again. Let's try it together. After 2. 1, 2. One more time together. So this time I have actually placed all 4 fingers on. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to add on 2 more notes to that now. I'm going to add on the B and the C. I'm going to use my 2nd and my thumb, which means I'm going to cross under my 2nd. So have a listen to how that will sound. Going up, cross my 2nd under, B, C. Let's see if we can do that together. After 2. 1, 2. One more time together. After 2. 1, 2. Great work. So to refresh what we've done so far with that second part, got A, G, F, our 3 notes going down, going to the C sharp first, then to the D. We're going straight to the E and we're turning around, coming back up, crossing under to B and C. Let's see if we can do that together. After 2. 1, 2. Down to the C, to the D, to the E, and up to the C. Great work. Let's go again. After 2. 1, 2. We're going to have 2 little connecting notes. We're going to put our thumb and our 2nd finger straight back onto that C and the B that we just played. And we're going to come down now. We're going to go C, B, cross our thumb over, and then we're going to start it again. So let's just try that. So we've got a C and a B after 2. 1, 2. Although it's not 1, 2 counting actually. So we've got C, B, then it's going down to the C. Okay, so let's see if we can do all that we know so far, and we're going to add on those 2 connecting notes, the C and the B. It means you're going to have 2 C's in a row. Like that. Okay. In fact, let's have a go just doing it that bit. Let's just go down to the E and back up to the C then our connecting notes. Have a listen to me playing it first. I'm going to count myself in. 1, 2. Connect them, and then we're going again. Let's just try that little section together. After 2. 1, 2. Our connecting notes, CB, and then we're off again. Okay, so let's try from the beginning of the second part. So we go down to C, down to D, down to E, all the way up, connect it up, and then we're going to start it again. And let's just keep going. I'm going to shout something out at the end. It's almost the same. There's a little bit of a difference, but I'll shout it out and see if you can get it. Okay, let's go from the start of that part. A, G, F, C. After 2. 1, 2. Down to the E, up we go to the C, connect it, CB, off we go again, to the C, to the D. Now this bit, go to the E, keep going, cross under with your second, but instead, just play that thumb again. That's how it finishes. So the second time we play it, we go down to the E, we're going to cross under as if we're going to the C, but we're going to go, nah, we're just going to play that A. So we're kind of faking it there. I mean, that will feel a little bit funny doing that. I'm a great believer though of kind of looking at what fingers you should be used for things, working out the best plan for fingering and to help your fingers remember things, to get your muscle memory going. So the reason that I do that, instead of going some sort of weird kind of 5-note pattern, is because I find it easier for my muscle memory and my hands to remember shapes and just doing one little change instead of a bigger change. So yeah, it's something that I work at a lot, is working out the best fingering. And sometimes it's better to make a subtle change so that your muscle memory is always the same. You've got this idea that when we're learning by ear, that a lot of it is repetition for our mind remembering things. But to be honest, a lot of it is getting your muscles to remember things. It's that muscle memory thing, which is so important to us as harp players. So, sorry, digress a little bit there. Let's try playing all of that second part again. And remember, so at the end now, going down to the E, we're crossing under, and instead we're finishing in the E. Instead of going up to that C, we're finishing on the E. Okay, up for having a go? All of the second part. So A, G, F, C, after 2. 1, 2. To the C, to the D, to the E, all the way up to the C. Connect it up with C and B, then we go again, down to the C, down to the D, down to the E. Remember, cross under B, but now we're going to finish in the A. Lovely work. Okay, let's try all of that second part twice through, and I'm not going to talk when I play it. I'm very bad at just kind of always giving a running commentary to tunes when I'm teaching them, so I'm going to challenge myself and I'm not allowed to talk, apart from counting. I might count it. After 2, twice through. 1, 2. Let's just go for that again. It's always good to keep repeating stuff. I'll count to 2. 1, 2. hesitate to go for the full tune. Just to remind you what the first part was. We had 4, 3, 2, 1, going up A, B, C, E. Then you had your little steps. Down your 3 white. Remember, I always say I like to visualize things. Going down A, G, E. 2, 3, 1, 2. Then we do it again. 1, 2. Change the last note to an A. Okay, let's try all of the melody. The A part twice, the B part twice. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2nd part. So let's have a look at some left hand. Now, the left hand that I do for this is really just accompanying chords. I have chords that I want to play, and I'll change how I do them. But I'm going to teach you what I played earlier, actually. Kind of straightforward chords in order to just get you started. What I'd really like you to all do, actually, is to take this and to move it on and to start to arrange it yourself. You know what I mean? Just decide how many times you're going to play it, whereabouts in the harp you'll play it, what type of chords you'll use, what chords you'll use, how you play them. It's a really great tune to start, you know, exploring creativity and learning how to arrange tunes yourself. So, but to get you going, let's just have a look at doing a little bit of straightforward left hand. So I'm going to play you the first part through once with some straightforward chords. Okay, so I have 4 chords that I'm using there. That's repeated for the part. And they are A, E, and 2 Ds. Now, the way that I've chosen to play these chords is this pattern, a 1-5-8 chord. Now, that's what I call it. Other teachers call it other things. Some people call it an octave and a fifth combined, because that's what it is, I guess. It's that popular harp chord that lots of us will know, undoubtedly have learned. It's always the kind of shape that my left hand automatically goes to. So the reason I call it a 1-5-8 chord is because I have the first note in that chord. So this is an A, 1, 5. So if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the E, 6, 7, 8 is the octave above it. So that's why I call it a 1-5-8 chord. They're basically chords without the third, which means that they're open chords. They don't have, they're not major and they're not minor. It's the third in a chord which decides whether a chord is major or minor, and this kind of leaves a bit of ambiguity. Not very good at saying that word, sorry. So they're open chords, so that's what I use a lot in my playing. So I'm gonna have a 1-5-8, so it's an A, an E, and an A. Use your 4th finger on the bottom, and then I'm going to move down to an E chord, so it's the same shape, so it'll be E, B, E, and I'm going down on the harp. Then right beside that, I'm going to play a D1-5-8, so D, A, and D. So those are our 3 main chords, A1-5-8, E, and then an E158, E, B, E, and then a D, and then we do another D, an octave above, because we've got 2 Ds in a row as part of the chord chart and it's nice to vary it. So have a listen to how that A chord, the very first chord, fits in. Now this tune is in 3/4 and that melody actually starts on beat 3, so it means that the first beat of the bar is the C sharp there, and then we have the E after it. So it goes, if I count it, 1, 2, 3 and 1. So our chord therefore is going to start on that C. It's going to go note to note, so that means that we've got together, together, together. Have a listen. I'm going to play it by myself first. Let's try it together. So we have A, E, A, and it's going to start with the C. After 2. 1, 2. So it means that we have the A going with the C, the E's together, and then the A with the B there. Now, when we hit this G sharp here, we're going to have an E chord, and it's going to last to the whole of that G. So that's actually, that chord is taking up that silence that I was counting earlier. Okay, have a listen again. So we have A together, together. When we hit the G, we've got all of the E chords in the bass. Let's try it together. After 2. 1, 2. An E chord. Let's keep going. With the final note with the F, we're going to have the D. D, 2, 3, and another D chord above. Okay, so again, those 2 chords, the D, 2 D chords, are filling in that space 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 that I was counting earlier. So let's just practice that bit at the end. 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's play it together. After 2. So that's going to go with the F. 1, 2. D, 2, 3. Another D. D. Good. If you want to make that even a little bit more interesting, what you could do with that first chord, the first E chord, is you could extend it. So this is an aptly named chord chord pattern I call the 158 extended. I'm ending that 158 by crossing under my second finger and my thumb to add on the next 2 notes. So they happen to be E and F, so the next 2 notes after the D. So that will sound like this. Let's try doing that and then playing the following D after it. 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. Lovely. Let's try all of that together. So we have an A chord, E chord, a D extended, and then a normal D, an octave above. Remember, starting on the C, note to note. After 2. 1, 2. E. D extended. 2, 3, D, 2. Well done. We are going to do exactly the same left hand for the next bit, but remember our melody changes. But we're going to keep the left hand exactly the same. So let's try all of that, but this time we're going to finish in the A in the melody. After 2. 1, 2. E. D extended. 2, 3, D, 2. Aye, so there, you might have spotted, I just ended up playing the whole of the first part. That is when I would profusely apologise to you all in the class, but you are not there. So let's just try that thing again. So we'll try it ending on the F and then try it ending on the A. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go for it. After 2. 1, 2. A. E. Extend the D. 1. D, an octave above. Let's go for it again. But we change the last note in the melody. To the A. Chords are the same. Yeah. Remember, you can pause the video if you want to work on this bit yourself. Okay? But let's try all of that again, but we'll do the repeat. So we're going to do it twice now. 1, 2. Excellent. So one thing you've got to watch out for, this is a bit of more of an advanced thing, is just being careful, especially if you've got metal strings down here, that these chords might bleed into each other. So you have to do a bit of what I call considerate damping. So that's flattening your hand and grabbing before the next chord. It's particularly between the E before the D. Okay, so that might be something that you need to watch out for, and you can practice by yourself. Okay, let's move on to the second part. So to revise the melody, A, G, F, C. Then you're going down to the D, down to the E, all the way up, crossing under to C and B, and connect C, B. And we're going again, down to the D, down to the E, and A. Okay, so for this bit we have another 4 chords. We have an F sharp minor, so F, C sharp, F. And then we have a D, and then an E, and an A. Okay, so F, D, E, A. Okay, and again for this bit just now, just using 1/5/8. Okay, so F, C, F, D, A, D, E, B, E, and then finishing on an A chord. So have a listen to the first chord. So we have A, G, F, C in our melody. Now again, our first beat of the bar is going to be the F, so it's not the first 2 notes because those are lead-on notes. So our F chord is going to come with the F. But watch out, because this C of the melody is going to come between these 2 notes. 1 and 2. So these 2 notes come together. Let's try that together. 1, 2. Let's go for it again after 2. 1, 2. Okay, same idea here, same rhythm. D chord though. I'm going to count to 2. 1, 2. Let's try that one again. So we're down to the D and a D chord. 1, 2. Okay, so let's put those 2 bits together. So we've got an F chord and a D chord. Both the left hand bits start on the F sharp in our melody. 1, 2. Now we have a D. Great. Next chord we have is our E. Handily enough, that's when we're going down to the E in this bit. But our rhythm, remember, in our right hand has changed. So now it's going to be note to note, starting on the F. Together, together, together. Let's try that together. 1, 2. Let's go for it again. 1, 2. Okay. When we hit that C, we're going to have the A chord. Have a listen to how that matches up. So I'm going to go for that same bit again, but I'm going to add the A chord in with that top C, and the connecting notes are going to happen. So have a listen to me play it first. E chord. The A chord starts with the C, and your connecting notes start with the thumb note of that chord. So you've got to watch out for that bit. Those connecting notes start with the last note of that chord. I'm going to go for it again. And connecting notes, and then we're off again. Okay, so let's try up to there. F chord first, down to C in our melody. 1, 2. D chord. E chord note to note. Up to the C, we've got an A. Connecting notes there. Let's keep going to F chord. Same chords. D chord. E again. This time, our A chord just comes with the final A. Okay, so I rushed on there. After the connecting notes, it goes exactly the same for the repeat section. So F chord, D chord, then we have our E chord. This is when it changes in the melody, remember. Instead of going up to the C, you just go to the A, and we have our A chord there. Okay, well, we see if we can try all of that second part. I kind of rushed that last bit, but we are kind of, well, we're not running out of time because there's no schedule, but I am aware that I'm recording this quite late and my neighbours might not be so happy about it. So let's just go for that second part. We'll try it all twice through, straight off, and we'll see what happens. After 2, 1, 2. Connecting it up, thumbs together. F, D, E. Finish on the A in both hands. And it goes again. Okay, so again with that left hand, you need to kind of be careful about the notes running into each other. So practice your considerate damping when you're really getting into this tune. So let's have a go, see if we can play the full tune just with those chords, and then I'm gonna kind of switch camera position and play a fuller version of it as a soloist. So yeah, let's go back to the first part. Remember, 3 chords, A, E, D extended, and D. Twice through, and then the second part twice through. Okay, A chord, so A, B, C, E in your right hand, A chord in your left hand. After 2, 1, 2. E, D extended, higher up D, fantastic. So in a minute I'll switch around the camera and play a fuller version, but I hope you enjoyed that tune. I think it really is a poignant one for what we're going through just now in the whole world, actually. I hope you've enjoyed learning it and that you'll continue playing it. I told you earlier about my website. I am planning, I've not been doing too much. I know there's a lot of people doing online concerts and things on their personal pages. I haven't been doing that. Unsurprisingly, the reason I haven't been doing that so far is because I've been the one that's been filming and editing this virtual harp festival. So my time has been taken up for that with that just now, but I am planning on doing some online workshops, probably on YouTube, Facebook video ideas, similar to what we've been doing like this at the end of April. Just really because I guess I'm a little bit bored, I have to say. This I was set to have an amazing few months travelling all around the world, to America, Australia, Japan, out to Europe to teach, and it's not happening now, but you know, this is a way that I can reach people throughout the world. So hope you will enjoy those lessons that I do, and I hope you're enjoying this Harp Festival. It's been great seeing all the folk that have been tuning in from all around the world. So, right, I'm going to switch camera positions, and in a second I'll play you a fuller version. Cheers! So, I hope you've enjoyed learning that. Let's play it together one more time, and actually, I'm going to kind of do it a few times over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make an amalgamation of the arrangement that me and Ron do on our album and what I've taught you just now. So I'm going to do a wee introduction. I'm going to do the A part with different chords, then the B part with our chords, and then the whole tune with our chords. Go on to a break section, do the A part just with A chords and the B part with R chords. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cool. Enjoy. So there you go. It's a gorgeous tune. It's played a lot actually at our sessions at the late night sessions at the Edinburgh Harp Festival. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed all the photos of the rainbows there. So thank you to everyone who sent those in. And yeah, of course the music will be on the website underneath the videos section. And many thanks to Callum as well for allowing me to teach it to you all, and for allowing me permission to have the music on the website so you can all download it and carry on playing it. See you soon.